It sounds so fun. Oh man, that's so fun. Yeah. Oh my god. We're gonna have a good time.
Then you see a pack of Hell's Angels going by, people are going to want to look. Next thing you know, cars. Because they're just staring at us and not paying attention to stop traffic.
If you wanted to break the law on an everyday norm, you should have joined a street gang. That's what they're known for. That's what they do. You're not allowed to steal cars on my block. We steal those cars.
I mean, it was so bad by us in Vegas. I was in the pool swimming, and the guys came back. Hey, Pee-wee, the cops are here. They want to talk to you. I said, well, go talk to them. Find out what they want. And they came back. They go, they want to talk to you.
Typically, if you leave the club, if you haven't been in for 10 years, you're automatically out back.
Got put out in 2006. Back in 2007, wound up going into Cannon. 2011. Came out of there. I had 4.5 years to walk off with zero support from that club.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about what's going on with the Twin Outlaw Brotherhood and their father getting killed. He has been identified. The authorities identified the father, and I got some exclusive information to tell you about this whole situation. It's pretty crazy, stuff you might not know. If you guys like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your mother's brother, sister's friend about Chatting with Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. Ronald, thank you for getting a membership. I appreciate it. Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me today. Make sure you guys check out Patreon. A lot of exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else. What else we got in the building? CMC, what's up, man? CMC says, Staxx, you're stirring up the community. Your channel came up in conversations on live last night in several circles. Where was that at? Good. That's what you're supposed to do, right? I don't know why I'm stirring up the community for. I only do what everyone else is doing, right? What's the problem? Shout out to So Loud. Paula, how are you? I guess what's good for the goose is not good for the gander, right? I don't care. And you know, if they're talking about you, you're doing something right, I guess. TRC, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. Shout out to First Nation, Manitoba, Canada. Appreciate you. Good morning. Corey Rory, what's going on? And listen, I am by in no means making fun of this situation. This is a terrible situation that their father died. I'm not like them, you know. They are pretty disrespectful. And I think I handled them pretty well when they came on the show. And we had a conversation, but you know, they're like really elusive with the conversation. It's hard to talk to them guys because they believe their own bullshit. Joe, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Pa Biker, what's going on? Thank you for joining me this morning. Muggsy 1%er, what's good, man? No one sees is covering. Why is no one covering this story? Why? Ask yourself that question. I don't know why aren't they covering this story? It's a pretty big one, right? This is a huge story in this community, so why is no one covering this story? It's really weird. If they do, it's off your info. I don't know. Ask yourself that question, too. I don't know, man. Slow Ride, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. I got some new information for you guys this morning. Jimster Thomas, what's going on? We're going to be joined by a special guest this morning as well. We're going to talk about a couple things first, and then we're going to get into the real topic at hand. There's a lot going on. We're going to talk about Canada today. Doug, what's good? Good morning. Slow rides in the building. If you guys aren't aware, they are contemplating a patch ban up there in Canada. Should Ontario ban outlaw motorcycle club names and logos in public? And some people are agreeing with them. Quebec's public security minister has tabled poised legislation to do so in that province. And this is insane. It's a new bill called the Bill 13 up there in Canada, where they are thinking about banning outlaw motorcycle clubs. Ontario should follow the lead of Quebec and adapt legislation banning criminal groups from publicly displaying their names and logos, says an organized crime expert. Quebec Public Safety Minister tabled legislation last month aimed at reinforcing public safety by barring the public display of names and images associated with an entity with a criminal position or a criminal purpose. The proposed legislation is known as Bill 13. It also includes provisions to create public lists of high-risk S offenders to ban protests near the homes of politicians. If passed, members of outlaw motorcycle gangs could face fines ranging from $1,000 to $15,000 for wearing patches or clothing displaying clubs' names, logos in public. Under the bill, the minister would compile a list of designated criminal groups which would remain in place unless police recommended their removal. I wonder if any cop clubs would be on that list. James Durrow has written books, produced documentaries on organized crime. He praised Quebec for introducing this bill because he's a piece of shit scumbag aimed at organized crime, and said Ontario should follow suit because he is an absolute worthless piece of shit because he doesn't know shit about clubs or anything like that. And listen, I wasn't a part of a club, but I know a lot of fucking information. I talk to these guys every day. A lot more patch holders hit me up than not patch holders. You would be surprised. So, and these guys are great people. They're not fucking all criminals running around like Sons of Anarchy. These people have it all wrong. So this guy written books, and he thinks absolutely it's a good thing. There's nothing negative about it, he said. Bikers wear their patches, leather vests, and bring club logos and chapter locations to intimidate rivals in public. Pfft, come on. That's not why they wear their fucking patches, you dumb motherfucker. To convey pride in their organization. No shit, they're in a motorcycle club. They're going to wear patches and be prideful of being in that. I mean, it takes a lot of work for these people to earn these patches. It's not like the Twin Outlaw Brotherhood that just throws them on their back. You know, there's a process to getting all these patches. You don't just sew a patch on and throw it on your back like these guys did. Like there's a process, and it takes sometimes years to get involved with some of these clubs. And he thinks it's a good thing because he don't know shit. He's on the side of the cops. So a spokesperson for the Ontario Provincial Police led biker enforcement unit, you know, the same one that was there when Donnie Wantz was screaming at the top of his lungs over at Harley G's fucking store. They declined to say whether it would see, if they would like to see Ontario adapt similar legislation, noting that police are responsible for enforcing the law, ensuring public safety. Any additional tools or resources that assist police and enhance public safety in the community we serve are welcome. We are welcoming opportunity to provide input into proposed legislation that has a direct impact on policing and public safety, a spokesperson said. Even Outlaw Motorcycles believed to operate in Ontario, about 75 chapters and over 1,000 members. They said that Quebec has long been ahead of Ontario in cracking down on organized crime. In September, Amazon and Walmart agreed to stop selling Hells Angels support gear, which it probably wasn't fucking sanctioned for them to do that anyway, after they came under fire from Quebec Ministry and Public Security. Because these people are so fucking stupid that they don't understand that China, someone in China, fucking put together some support gear, put it on Walmart's fucking website and started selling it. I guarantee you that none of these clubs gave them permission to do that. They don't do that. They don't sell their support gear in major chains. It just doesn't happen. It's always been known that you buy support gear from members, right? You don't get it at a fucking Walmart. It's just idiotic the way these people think. They think that the clubs put those in Walmart because they don't have a clue of how things operate. The country's two largest retailers had been selling hats, t-shirts, and rings bearing the words 81, representing H, the eighth letter of the alphabet, and the letter A, the first letter of the alphabet. Because these are crazy codes, right? As well as featuring the word Hells Angels. But little do they know that these were bootlegged fucking shirts that were put in Walmart to be sold from fucking China. Outlaw motorcycle gangs have strict rules, allowing only members to wear clothing displaying their name and logo, but anyone can wear support gear, which does not feature the club's name or emblem. The OPB biker unit has urged the public not to support outlaw motorcycle clubs like the Hells Angels by buying support gear. So they are encouraging people not to buy support gear. The proposed Quebec legislation appears to also target support gear, in addition to the group's name and symbol. The public display ban would apply to other names, abbreviations, acronyms used or associated with the group. So they can't use any fucking anything like 81 or anything. Associate professor said for the University of Waterloo, said a law restricting what someone could wear would be vulnerable to a chapter's challenge. In that case, the province would have to invoke notwithstanding clause or show how the restriction or rights is responsible in court. I don't know. Do you guys think they'll be able to push this through the Canadian legislation? Plus, the public display of a logo can be used as evidence of membership in a criminal conspiracy. So preventing the display of such logos could be counterproductive from that standpoint of a prosecutor. The Canadian Civil Liberties Association has criticized Bill 13, including the provision targeting public displays, symbols, names linked to groups designated as criminal organizations. The dire impact of these provisions on freedom of expression is compounded by the bill's permissive conditions for including an entity on the minister's list. The association said in a statement. So what do you guys think of this situation? I want to know what your thoughts are on this whole banning things, banning the names and support gear in Ontario. And this would have fucking crazy effects on all the clubs out there. It doesn't matter what club you're in. If you're in a motorcycle club up in Canada, watch out, because they're looking to ban the shit out of a lot of people. And if you can't sell support gear, that kind of cuts off your money flow. It's going to cause big problems. Tommy, what's going on? Craig, what's good? Damn, we got a lot of people flooding in here. We got 35 people. Hit that like button. Staxx, we need fight this with everyone that's in a club. Yeah, I wonder if that's just a new patch with Mickey Mouse on it. Okay, same dudes, just one more way to rule the world. 100%, man. It's crazy. Nomadic, what's good, man? How you doing? Thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. Rah, what's up, bro? Thanks for joining me today. So, another case. We talked about this the other day, but not a lot. So, this guy, he received 6 years in prison. It says gang member, club member, gets 6 years in prison in an assault case. This is in Bakersfield, California, when the Hells Angel chapter was arrested. Remember that in June 2024? A member of the Sons of Hell motorcycle club, which takes orders from the Hells Angels, was sentenced Thursday to 6 years in prison on 2 felony assault cases, prosecutors said. Joshua Vogue, 38, pleaded no contest to charges filed in both cases. In one, Joshua and the entire Bakersfield chapter of the Hells Angels was arrested in June of 2024 and charged with robbery, assault with a gun, false imprisonment of an elder or dependent adult, and gang participation. Ricardo Alvarez, Armando Villanero, Joseph Santos Sr. and Jr., Joshua Zavilla, John Seeger, and Vogue allegedly were involved in the assault of a man at the site of the former clubhouse. So members visited the clubhouse 5 times from March 1st to April 11th of 2024, authorities said. On their first visit, a member of the gang punched a man living on the property and held a .357 caliber handgun to his head. So allegedly, they left the property and they were coming back to get some more things. And what happened? Allegedly, this guy hid something. Not this guy in the picture, but the guy that was staying at the clubhouse that they just bought. It says on one of the visits, the gang members, angry upon finding a Willie Nelson guitar he believed the man had hidden. So it was a signed Willie Nelson guitar. He thought that the old man hid it. He punched him in his right eye, blinding him at least temporarily, according to court documents. Alvarez, Villasenar, and Sotos and Zavula were patched members of the Hells Angels, authorities said, while Vogue and Seeger belong to the Sons of Hell. The remaining defendants have a hearing scheduled for February 25th, and I'll bring you guys more information as it becomes available. I remember when that happened, when they raided the clubhouse. You remember that? So this is a wild case. This guy, 12-year-old girl shot dead with an AK-47 in her sleep after a social media feud turned violent. So this little girl passed away. She was only 12 years old. These are the men that shot her. It's just crazy. This is crazy. This is one of the guys. This is the other guy. So, 21-year-old Javon Corner had been handed a prison sentence of over 6 decades for his involvement in the shooting of 3 homes, which tragically resulted in the death of a 12-year-old girl who's sleeping in her bed. The shooting was carried out as an act of retaliation over a social media post. As reported by the news, Connor hailed from Ohio. He was sentenced on Thursday to 64 years to life in prison for the murder of the 7th grader Isabella Carlos. The crime was committed alongside a 24-year-old accomplice, Antoine Benson, who was also found guilty last month in a separate trial involving his brother. Charges leveled against both men, including murder, discharging a firearm into a habitation, felonious assault, and aggravated menacing. So on December 22nd, Benson was handed a 67-year prison sentence, according to the Montgomery prosecutor's office. The series of events leading up to the crime began in 2024 on August 22nd, when Benson and Connor confronted a woman in a car in Trotwood over a social media post that involved a cousin of theirs. Another woman who also in the vehicle at the time, her children were present. Later at 12:30 a.m. on August 23rd, the two men embarked on a shooting spree, unloading an AK-47 and an AR-15 into 3 homes. In Dayton, Ohio, Isabella, who was sleeping in her bed, was struck during the gunfire. First responders pronounced Isabella dead at the scene. Officers later confirmed that her home was not the intended target. I tried to resuscitate her, but I couldn't, her dad said. Supposed to be able to protect your kids, but I couldn't in this situation, Isabella's father said. That's terrible. The devastating crime was condemned by the Montgomery County prosecutor, who described it as a cowardly and senseless act. He added the young girl, with her entire life ahead of her, her entire future was snuffed out. A 7th grader was murdered at her home, murdered while she slept in her bed. The judge tragically noted that Isabella, who went by Bella, likely did not die instantly after being shot, and he wanted the men to understand this. It's just gut-wrenching to try to comprehend the last few moments of Bella's life. The testimony was that she actually had moved from where she was sleeping, Parker said in court. She was found half in the bed and half off the bed, which means she suffered and struggled, whether it was a couple minutes. I hope you understand that. The pair also boasted about their crime, posting photos of their empty clips and weapons on Facebook after the shooting. The judge called that sense of false bravado. The affiliate said, "Y'all soft. All y'all are weak. All y'all are soft in those pictures." Isabella aunt spoke at sentencing hearing that her niece's death was devastating impact on the family. My niece was lying there sleeping, getting ready for school the next day. We will never get to see her go to prom, her first love, her first date, or anything, she expressed. You and your brother did something that will never be able to be taken back. Never. I feel bad for your family. I feel bad for you. I ask God have mercy on your life. That's a pretty sad situation. I mean, this girl had her whole life ahead of her. And then for them to do that is just crazy. Over a fucking social media post? Like, that's just nuts. So, the man found dead in the home on Oro Blanco Drive. So this fire broke out, right? I got a couple newsreels to show you guys. So they have identified the man. The man found dead during Colorado Springs house fire in December has been identified. Colorado Springs, Colorado. The man found dead following a structure fire Monday, December 29th, has been identified by the El Paso County coroner. And we now know that John Vanderwert, 72, was found dead inside the home following the fire. The incident occurred around 2:30 p.m. that Monday at the 2600 block of Oro Blanco Drive, but it was really at 2619 Oro Blanco Drive. They got the wrong address there, near the intersection of Constitution Avenue and North Murray Boulevard. So his name is John Vanderwert. So it says when firefighters arrived at the home, the CSFD says the fire had already been extinguished. They say it was contained to the basement. The department says 3 people were evaluated at the home for minor injuries. According to CSFD, firefighters at the scene found were already dead inside the home. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. The CSFD says Colorado Springs Police Department is investigating the man's death. The El Paso County coroner did not provide a cause of death at the time of the identification. So I found some pretty telling information about this whole situation. So that is the father's name, right? So their father lived with them allegedly this whole time, and nobody knew it. Nobody knew. Everyone thought, where's their father? I never seen a video with their father. Did you? Did anyone else ever see a video with their father? Hey, Insane Wheels, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. SNS, what's good? Appreciate you guys taking the time. Edge, what's up, man? Biker News Canada, how you doing? Claire, Craig, appreciate you guys coming in. How come no one else is reporting on this situation? I'm just curious. One person said, oh, it's a karma thing. I'm not reporting on it because of karma. What? I don't understand that. I mean, it's not a karma thing. It's a damn news thing, man. You're supposed to get out information when it becomes available. Like, I don't understand. So their alleged story is that Sick Bastard, what's up, man? Thank you for joining me. Darren, what's good? Staxx, I love your channel. I appreciate that. So apparently their story is that he fell asleep with a cigarette and his diaper caught on fire. But they don't understand that diapers are flame retardant. They don't catch on fire. Like, they're designed not to catch on fire. So that story, the math ain't mathin'. Someone else said maybe he was smoking with a cigarette. That is possible, right? That is possible. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that any foul play happened, but they are being under investigation. The whole family is sitting on the front. That I did not know that. Yeah, diapers are flame retardant. You cannot light a diaper on fire. And they're trying to say that he dropped a lit cigarette on a diaper and it became out of control. That's not even possible. And how do you put the fire out and then the cops show up and the guy's already dead in the house? That's a shitty diaper fire. Could be. So the information that I found, let's talk about that. Because this is pretty crazy. Where was the dad this whole time? Was he chained up in the basement? Like, this is just weird. Very weird. So I did some digging, right? And we looked at who owns the home. And you would be surprised to know that in September of 77, John Vanderwert bought this house. Yup. He bought this house in 1977. So in 1986, his name appears on the house again. He owned it for 9 years and then 11 years. 9 years and 3 months to be exact. and then 11 years. And then the house got transferred in 1997 to Ronald Fortin and Marie Fortin. In 2015, who did the house get transferred to? Debbie Vanderwert. That's crazy because that's the twins' mom. What happens next? Next, she transfers the house in August of 2018, goes from Debbie Vanderwert to Debbie Vanderwart, W-A-R-T. So she sold the house to herself in 2018. In August of 2018, she changed her last name, one letter of her last name. She changed the E to an A, and she sold the house to herself. She was already living there for 3 years. So then she goes on to live there for 4 more years. Then she hands the house over again. Who did she hand it to? Debbie Jean Vanderwert and Justin Brooks, one of the twin outlaw brothers. How come Jean is not labeled on the name before that? Because she changed up the name so it would be a different person. That's pretty crazy. And I hear, now this is all speculation. I don't know 100%, but I hear that there's a lot of fraud that goes on with this woman and these guys. I heard that they sounds like some good mortgage fraud going on there. Yeah, a little bit. It's pretty crazy, right? It's crazy that you find information when things like this happens. That could be a movie, 100%. So now I got a video to play you, and then we're going to see if the special guest is going to join us. So let's check this out. I wonder if they're...
Police and firefighters are investigating a deadly fire in Colorado Springs. Happened this afternoon at a home on Oro Blanco near Constitution on the east side of the city. Fire department tells us they responded to a fire in the basement of the home. It was out
at 2619. 2619. It is not 2600 Oro Blanco. They tried to change that address too.
By the time firefighters arrived, they say they found a man dead inside the home. 3 people were also treated on scene for minor injuries, according to CSFD. Police are now investigating the death of the man, and the cause of the fire is also under investigation.
Yeah. There's the bike. There's the bike in the garage. Same bike, right? Same bike. And you see the burning right there. Doesn't it look like maybe the fire came from the bike? I don't know. I don't know. Do you think the fire maybe came from the bike? Possibly, right? Oh, my light died. Oh, shit. Possibly, right? Maybe the fire came from the bike. Hold on a second here. And just a heads up, I'm probably getting trophy, and I'm getting a ring too. A Hall of Fame ring. That's gonna be dope. And of course, you guys will be the first to see it. It takes a little while to get it though, you know. So it takes 11 weeks. It's like almost 3 months. All right, I just sent a link to our friend here. So there's the bike, right? There's the truck. Huh? Same truck. Sounds like tax evasion to me. Ruh-roh. I don't know, but I think they got some major explaining to do. Yeah, I think they got some explaining to do with this whole situation. Why does the mother change the name by one letter and sell the house to herself? You can't do that. Like, you can't do that. You can't sell the house to yourself. That's like fraud, right? I think I stumbled onto some bullshit. And listen, I'm not an investigator or nothing like that. But you can't do that. You can't change. So he bought the house in September of 77, right? He lived there for 9 years and 3 months. He sold the house in December of 1986. It says he sold the house to himself, and then he lived there for 8 or 11 years, from December of 86 to 1997. In December of that year, he sold the house to Ronald Fortin and Marie Fortin in December of 97. And they had the house for 17 years and 8 months until August of 2015. And then they sold the house to a Deborah Vander Wert and John Vander in 2015. They lived there for 3 years, and then they sell it to Debbie Vander Wart, W-A-R-T. So she changed her name there, August 2018. Lived there for 4 years and 9 months. In May of 2023, Debbie Vander Wart sells the house again to Debbie Jean Vander Wert. All one word, right? The Vander Wert is all one word now. And she sells it to Justin Joe Brooks. That was in May of 2023 to present. So so what do you guys think of this situation? And where the hell was their dad? Like, where was he this whole time? And insurance fraud? Man, they might just be getting brought out in handcuffs soon. You never know. If the coroner comes back with something suspicious that this guy died from, then you're going to see 2 brothers and a mother getting let out in handcuffs. All of them. And this is crazy that this happened just before Christmas. Staxx brings the goods. You're damn right, man. Got to. But the math ain't mathing. Something ain't adding up here. I bet if the chips were down, those twins would snitch on each other. 100%. They'll probably snitch on their mom, right? Staxx, this could just be records getting updated that he usually owned it from 77 to 97. 77 to 97? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be updated, but then he sold the house, right? In 97. He sold it to Ronald Fortin and Marie Fortin. They owned it for 17 years. And then in August 2015, they sell it back to John Vander. All right, we got our special guest in the building. Hold on. Waiting for the device to connect. Says it's waiting for the device to connect. I bet she claimed bankruptcy during that time. Yeah, but so listen, if they were updating it, they wouldn't update it to a different name. One letter off, right? It goes from Wirt, right? Debbie Vander Wander. Debbie Vander Wert, W-E-R-T. And then she changes her name by one letter in 2018. Yeah, they wouldn't do that. That just would not happen. And then you look again and she changes her name again on the paperwork. Debbie Jean Vander Wert, all one word. So something here is not adding up. Because you don't do that. Like on a house bill of sale and all that shit, you don't put different names and change letters in your name and take this part and make it a full name. You don't do that shit. You're always going to sign your name the same thing, right? So why is her name different on almost every time you see her name on here? It's different. Why is that? Very odd, isn't it? Makes no sense. And her name doesn't appear on the paperwork until August 2015. So this was his house. This is his house. It's not her house. I guess it is now, right? But I don't know. I don't think you can get houses from false means. You know what I'm saying? Vaults, what's going on? What do you guys think of this whole situation? So he was wearing Muslim headgear around his ass. I don't know, man. I don't know. The filing gets messed up all the time. This is common. Oh, it's common to change the spelling of your name and all that. Nah, I don't think so, man. Listen, if your name is already on the paperwork, they're just gonna look at the paperwork and put the same name. Like, if they're updating the name, they're not gonna fucking make a whole different name with a different letter in it and then take the end of your name that's disattached and attach it. They're not gonna do that. Yo, you think they did this on accident? Yeah, right. You think they changed her name every single time her name appears on here by accident? Yeah, sure. Guess what? Ignorance is not a defense in court, okay? I did not know that you could not do that's not a defense in court. Oh, they messed up on filing the paperwork. No, that's not going to work. Not going to work. My wife is a broker and it happens all the time. So they change their name every single time they file. Show me another fucking listing where it's the name's different on every single time their name appears on the paperwork. Yeah, it's a typo, Jimmy. Yeah, it's a typo. Typo. Yep, that's what it is. Fucking typo. It's a typo that her name's different every single time. Yep. Every single time her name appears here, it's different. It's a typo. Yep. I believe that one. It's a legal document. I think it's an illegal document. It's for paperwork. She's assuming some identity with different spelling. Same identity with different spelling. She's trying to fudge the fucking paperwork is what she's doing. Come on, man. I wasn't born fucking yesterday. I wonder if the twin dingleberries are going to go to Minneapolis. You never know. They might. They might show up there and pull some guns out. I thought the one in December said farting. That was just before the diaper came. That's their story, is that the diaper caught on fire. This person's trying to come on. Listen, and people are going crazy right now with the left and the right, and the people are fighting. Like, that's what they want us to do. You know that, right? And it's working. Like, it's working. Mountain Woman, you're right? It's funny, right? They ask you before you sign, is everything correct? 100%, man. No. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to get someone in here to have a conversation, but they're having difficulties. So, hey, what's up, Don? How you doing? Let me ask Don McGuire a question. So he's a pretty intelligent person. All right. So this guy buys this house, right? This guy buys this house in 1977. His name's on the address. Maybe he updated his paperwork, right? In 1986, 9 years later. He lives there for 11 more years. These people buy the house from Ronald Fortin and Marie Fortin. Okay, they buy the house. Next thing you know, they sell the house to Debbie Vander Wert, W-E-R-T, and John Vander Wert in August 2015, right? 3 years they lived there. All of a sudden, the house gets transferred over to Debbie Vander Wart, W-A-R-T. Oh, that's a typo, probably, right? Yeah. You would think that, right? That's in 2018. In May of 2023, the paperwork gets shifted over to Debbie Jean Vander Wert. And Vander Wert is all one word, and it's spelled back the way it's supposed to spell. Right? Oh, that's just a typo too, right? And they she sells the house to herself and her son, Justin Joe Brooks. Now, is that a fucking typo, you think, Don? Or do you think someone's doing some finagling shit there, huh? She must have typoed it. Randy, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today. Pablo, I heard a cure is probable, especially in Minnesota. All the above. Start a daycare. It's crazy, man. Hold on, I'm trying to get someone in here. Yeah, I don't think it works like that. I don't think you can just change your whole fucking name, put it on the paperwork. Got another video for you to check out.
Firefighters say one person is dead following a structure fire on the east side of the city. This happened at around 2:25 this afternoon on Oro Blanco Drive, just off of Constitution Avenue. They say when firefighters got there, They determined the fire was already out. The victim was then found dead in the basement of the house. 3 other people were treated for minor injuries at the scene. Springs police have now started a death investigation. The cause of the fire is still unknown.
So they are under investigation right now by the police department and the fire experts. So we're going to find out exactly what happened. If you see a video of them being let out in handcuffs, then we already know what happened.
Police and firefighters are investigating a deadly fire in Colorado Springs. Happened this afternoon at a home on Oro Blanco near Constitution on the east side of the city. Fire department tells us they responded to a fire in the basement of the home. It was out by the time firefighters arrived. They say they found a man dead inside the home. 3 people were also treated on scene for minor injuries, according to CSFD. Police are now investigating the death of the man, and the cause of the fire is also under investigation.
I know. How long has that dad been in the basement? I mean, these guys have been on the internet for years and nobody ever talked about their dad. Ever. Nobody. He has never been on a video. They never talked about him. Nothing. He just didn't exist, right? So all of a sudden, these guys own their house, own his house. All of a sudden, these guys own his house. It's very odd, right? So what do you guys think of the situation? I want to know what your thoughts are. Jesus Christ, why is this fucking doing this? So they tampered with evidence? Who knows? So their story is that the father's diaper caught on fire. It was too late. I mean, he died. He dropped a cigarette and his diaper caught on fire, but they don't understand that diapers are flame retardant. I mean, they make them like that for a reason, right? Fucking babies wear them. They're not going to have a flammable thing on a baby or even a grown-up. They're not going to do that. So baby diapers have flame retardant in them, right? Where they can temporarily catch fire if they're placed too close to heat. But let me ask you this. How many people drop a cigarette butt on themselves and are going to just let it burn, right? How would you going to drop a cigarette on yourself and just let it burn? Unless he can't move. Can he not move at all? Because you're not going to just sit there and let it burn on yourself. Is he like incapacitated where he can't move at all? I mean, these are a lot of questions that people are going to have, right? They're going to say, what do you do? Just sit there and let himself burn up? It's just crazy, man. You need, like, so there's another video I got to show you guys when the One Order motorcycle club got disrupted. I got the video right here.
Motorcycle club in the city of Edmonton. They're a club that identifies themselves as one percenters, and they're aligned with the Hells Angels.
More than 200 officers were involved in this operation. Our partnerships, including our partners with the RCMP, help make it possible for us to stand here today and to talk about our actions that have led to our communities being safer.
There was 20 firearms seized and over 6,000 rounds of ammunition, over $100,000 in cash, a steroid pill press lab with over 82,000 pills. There were over 240,000 contraband cigarettes and over 9,000 contraband.
Maybe he was tied up like Pulp Fiction. They just want the life insurance money. Man, can you imagine if they take all of them out of the house in handcuffs and it's on video? That would be insane. I was in a hotel room and the guy beneath me had no legs and did that exact thing, burning and yelling and said everything other than help. Had no idea he was on fire. What? I found out that the twin brothers VP tampon stolen valor 10 waltz. Tampax out of Minnesota. Come on, baby. Light my shorts. It's just crazy, man. Like all of a sudden, this father just appears out of nowhere and he turns up dead in their basement. Catches on fire. That's not hiding them anymore. These guys, they were like hiding them in the basement, right? That's not hiding them anymore, man. It's kind of your secret's out now. What do you guys think? Google says that depends on flame retardant too. Our depends flame retardant? He was wheelchair bound. He could still use his arms though, right? Wouldn't you fucking grab the cigarette and throw it off you? Like I don't get it, man. I'm not buying this shit. I'm not buying it. And I don't think these investigators are gonna buy this shit either. Hold on, someone's trying to come in. I'm waiting for someone to come in. I want to see what this person got to say. I don't think he's going to be able to come in. He can't figure it out. I mean, they were hiding him because he hasn't ever been. They never talked about him. I'm not saying to put him on video, right? You don't need to put your family on video, but you never talked about him, not once. I mean, they put their mom on video. And then they're going to talk shit about all the major 1% clubs, and you got your elderly father and that. Like, put your whole family at risk, right? Jesus. Yeah, we're still going to do that on Thursday, right? Biker News Canada, part 2. I'm down for Thursday, man, if you're available. If you get the link, we'll share it out. You guys remember that story of that woman who wore a diaper to drive all the way? Yeah, I remember that. To whack another woman. I think it was the love triangle thing. Yes. Staxx, he was not patched in. Who wasn't patched in? Oh, the father wasn't patched in? Just the mom and the 2 sons? This dude's not going to figure it out. Hold on a second. I want to know what your thoughts are in this situation. What do you guys think? Do you think there's foul play in this situation? Or do you think this is just a tragic accident? I mean, I feel bad for the father because, I mean, what the fuck, dude? Bill, yes, I look forward to Thursday. I know all the people who watch your channel are looking forward to it. Hell yeah, man. Let's do it Thursday. Make sure you guys check out Biker News Canada Thursday. We're going to do part 2. I'm going to tell you guys some stories. I enjoyed that night, man, shooting the shit with you. Pablo, I thought you had something to do with an astronaut. I didn't want to put in case different thing. Different spirit. Definitely a space cadet. The Jerry part 2 will be good. Part 1 was really good. I went for a long time. Didn't even notice how. I know it flew, man. Yep, I was there for part 1. Yeah, part 2 will be Thursday, so make sure you guys tune in. It's a crappy situation. It really is. Listen, I feel bad for the dad, man. Like, this dude, they keep him in hiding this whole time, and then all of a sudden, he fucking burns up in the basement. They're trying to hide this dude, and all of a sudden, and boom, he's all over the news. The fucking secret's out, guys. Secret's out. Is he the real founder of the club? Like, what's going on? The mom took the club from the dad or something? What the fuck? I heard some wild stuff that I'm not going to repeat online. But I've heard some wild stuff about this whole family. And but it's just stuff I'd rather not say. But I hope you guys like this content. There's a lot more on the way. We got some big interviews coming up. Matter of fact, by next week, you will see the biggest interview I've ever done. Hopefully it all goes through. And we'll get it out for you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Is that police chief boy or girl? I don't know. I feel bad for how his kids turned out. Even that time they were on Judge Judy, they're dumb as fuck. Listen, they don't know how to read, man. It's not their fault. They didn't put any effort in. Damn. I mean, you got to put a little more effort in, man. The content has been top tier. I appreciate it, brother. No doubt. Khan, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. Tommy, thank you guys all for joining me. SNS, I appreciate all you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you guys soon. Tune in tonight. We got another show at 10 p.m. I got some major things that are going to be dropping this week. A major interview is going to drop. So stay tuned. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother, sister's friend about Chattin with Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. If you want to donate to the show, you can hit up the Cash App at Chattin with Staxx, or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good stuff. And check out Patreon. That's where the content is at. And if you don't like this show, start your own fucking podcast. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now, accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.